Welcome to the special super-sized Super Bowl edition of the Power 5. In this episode, I'm going to be sharing with you some key trends for betting on the side, perhaps an interesting way for you to bet the total. Not to mention, I'll let you know my favorite bets in the anytime touchdown market, my favorite player props, and I've got a long shot bet as well. As I'm going through all of this, don't be shy about smashing that like button. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Now, when it comes to betting the side for Super Bowl 59, here are 5 key trends that you might be interested in. Number one, the team that has the better winning percentage, better winning percentage, pardon me, easy for me to say it in this case, it would be Kansas City. Team with better winning percentage is shockingly just 1-16 ATS the past 17 Super Bowls. That doesn't bode well for Kansas City. That being said, we all know Patrick Mahomes' record as a favorite of 3 points or less, or as an underdog. It's 28, 9, and 1 ATS. Number three, this will be the 5th time in Super Bowl history where we have a head coaching rematch. Of course, Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni met 3 years ago, with Reid and the Chiefs emerging victorious. That bodes well for the Chiefs because the 4 previous instances of a head coaching rematch in the Super Bowl all saw the coach that won the first meeting also win the second meeting. Number four, and this is another trend in the Chiefs' favor, it has to do with the fact the Eagles scored a conference championship game record 55 points against the Commanders. Teams that scored 40 or more points in the conference championship game are just 3-7 straight up all time in Super Bowls. Teams that scored 45 or more are 0-2 straight up. The last trend I'll share with you is one you probably already know. The Chiefs have won an NFL record 17 consecutive one-score games. Have to be, if you want to tease the Eagles, I teased the Bills in the AFC Championship game. That proved to be the right move. If you want to do it with the Eagles here, you're gonna have to find something. Maybe the total. They say don't tease totals, but here is an interesting angle for the total. Now, quite frankly, I do not have a good feel for the total in this game. However, when we get to halftime, I may be looking to jump in. That is because over the past 2 seasons, the second half under in Chiefs games is a shocking 29-11. That's number one in the NFL during that time. Also, those second halves have stayed under by an average of 4 points per game. Really interesting to me is that despite all those close wins, the Chiefs have averaged only 9.9 points per game in the second half this year. So their record is really owed to the adjustments defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has been making. It's certainly something worth keeping in mind. Again, Chiefs, second half under 29-11 since the start of last season. Let's hit the anytime touchdown market here. I've got 2 players I want to target, one for each team. For the Eagles, the name will not be surprising. It is Jalen Hurts, who is minus 120 to find the end zone. Perhaps you've heard of a play called the tush push. Look, in all seriousness, when the Eagles get close to the end zone, they're let number one keep it. Hurts had 3 rushing touchdowns in the NFC Championship game alone. He has 14 rushing TDs for the season. There have been only 6 games where Hurts has not scored a rushing TD, and 3 of those were in the first 5 weeks. Also, it's not just the tush push from the goal line where Hurts is a threat to score with his legs, because he's got the 5th highest scramble rate among all quarterbacks. While the Kansas City defense has allowed the 7th most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks this year, so Hurts is certainly capable of breaking one. On the Kansas City side, I like Xavier Worthy anytime touchdown. That's plus 165. A little bit better price here, obviously. We're seeing more and more of Worthy getting rushing attempts, so that's 2 ways the Chiefs receiver can find the end zone. Worthy has 9 total touchdowns this season, including 3 receiving in the last 5 games. One of those in the AFC Championship. Here's more Worthy for you. Since week 12, he leads the team in virtually every receiving category. In fact, he's got more design targets than the rest of the Chiefs receivers combined during that time. Player props. I've got 2 for you. One again from each team. Both will be extremely unpopular, but all you regular viewers of the Power 5 know I am a contrarian by nature. I talked about Patrick Mahomes' longest rush under 13 and a half yards earlier this week on WagerTalk today. You can watch that entire breakdown elsewhere here on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. As I said there, betting Mahomes not to have a run go for more than 13.5 yards will make for an uncomfortable 3+ hour viewing experience. I understand that. However, he's had just 2 runs of more than 15 yards all season, and only 5 opposing quarterbacks have had runs of more than 11 yards against this Eagles defense. That includes Jane Daniels twice. I don't think Mahomes breaks one. My second unpopular wager in the player prop market will be Eagles running back Saquon Barkley under 112 and a half rushing yards. Cat's got my tongue today. Look, there hasn't even been a 100+ yard rusher in any Super Bowl since 2006. There have been only 5 since 1994. And 2 of them finished with exactly 102 yards, which obviously would not be enough here for Barkley, who, remember, fell short of his rushing prop in the NFC Championship game. And, by the way, the Chiefs' defense has not allowed a single 100-yard rusher in any of their last 18 playoff games. They allowed only 4 opposing running backs to top 60 yards this season. 60! Lamar Jackson was the only player to run for 100 yards against them. So Barkley under 112 and a half rush yards for me. Let's now wrap up the Power 5 with a long shot bet. The Eagles' Nolan Smith to record the first sack of the game, plus 1,600. Smith has a sack in every playoff game so far and could become the first player in NFL playoff history to record a sack in 4 games during the same postseason. Over the Eagles' last 7 games, Smith leads the team in pressures with 23. If he lines up across the weak link of the Chiefs' O-line, that being right tackle Jawan Taylor, Smith can get home. Let's bet on him to get home before anyone else does. So that's the Power 5 for Super Bowl 59. If you want my top selections on the game, head on over to wt.buzz/BP right now. I've got 3 plays available for you. One's a 5% max bet, one's a player prop, the other's on the side for the game. Note, I'm a perfect 3-0 the last 2 Super Bowls. That includes a 5% max bet 2 years ago when it was Chiefs-Eagles. I had the Chiefs that time, obviously. Last year, it was a 2-0 sweep with the 49ers first half money line, and then on the second play from scrimmage, I should say before that, on the second play from scrimmage, I cashed my lone player prop, Kyle Juszczyk over half a reception. The last 4 times Kansas City has been in the Super Bowl, I'm a perfect 6-0 with all selections. I come into this one having done really well in the NFL since Christmas, 68% run with all NFL plays during that time. And if you're looking for more, incredible deal with me and Mark Zinno. You get my 3 Super Bowl plays, his 4 Super Bowl plays, all for just $69. That's 7 plays for $69, less than $10 per play, including 2 5% max bets. Those 5% plays normally run $35 a piece, so you're basically getting 5 free plays with this special offer. Head on over to either my page, wt.buzz/BP, or Mark's page, wt.buzz/MZ, to pick it up. That's going to do it for me. Again, don't be afraid to smash that like button. Until next time, guys, let's cash some tickets.